Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here today, and I just wanted to kind of go over the new Canon Rebel T6 that's going to be announced very soon. Essentially, all the photos and specs have been released. It's pretty much almost come out at this point, but we're just waiting on the Canon announcement in the next just a few days. So let's just talk about it. Is this something that's going to be an amazing upgrade from the T5, or is it just, just something? Let's just talk about it. So if you're a Canon user, you know that the Rebel line is more or less the entry-level market, kind of like the Nikon D3000 and 5000 series, and they've got some amazing features for the price that you can get into for these cameras, like $300 to $500 for these camera systems. So let's just look back at the T5. So you can get it for now for like $400. They're saying you can save $150 on it with that's just $400. And what does it provide? It has 18 megapixels, 1080p video, I think at 30 frames a second, 3 frames per second. So these types of cameras aren't necessarily, fast, and it's got one of their older imaging processors. So they've been needing to do a little bit of an upgrade, and now they will with the Canon Rebel T6. So if you look at it here, and if you're overseas, it's the EOS 1300D, which those numbers have just been pretty interesting, if you ask me. And it's not going to use some of their newer processors, which is interesting. It's going to be their Digic 4 Plus, so it's going to be a little bit better. 18 megapixel crop sensor, obviously. The ISO range will be from 100 to 6400, expandable. Don't worry about on these cameras. But overall, this is going to be your basics of the camera. And when you look at it, it's pretty much exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get Wi-Fi and near-field communication built in. That's awesome. You're still going to get 1080p video. Video snapshot, which is interesting. I think they're going to try and say, like, you could pick stills out of that, which I really wouldn't do unless if it's 4K video at this point. It's still going to be 3 frames per second, no touchscreen, and it's going to weigh about the same, and it's probably going to cost about $500. So, this is just another line. This is another step in the progression for Canon's Rebel line, and they're obviously going to have the T6i at another point to improve on the video. The I series usually has a little bit more different, little bit of specs than, cost maybe another $50 to $100 more to do that. So there it is. There's the Canon Rebel T6. Nothing absurdly mind-blowing. This entry-level DSLR doesn't need to have 4K. It doesn't need to have some articulating screen. While that would be great, you would also be adding money into that for someone getting into the field. So, if you have a T5, is this worth upgrading to? Absolutely not, if that's the case. But if you're just getting into it, a T6 would be great, especially if you want to just get into the field, and it's going to be very affordable for what it is. It's probably going to be like $500 for the kit with the Canon 18 to 55 lens. So there you go. Just wanted to talk about it real quick because this has been getting some news and it's going to be released soon. So there's the Canon Rebel T6. Now, for you Canon users out there, do you think that this is something maybe worth upgrading to if you're in the T4i, T5, T5i type of line? Or do you think it's just another meh camera with nothing to it? But to me, it's just progression. If you're getting into it, you might as well buy something like this. But I'll tell you what, though, for very similar features and the processor that's not even the most current necessarily, the T5 is a fantastic deal for like $400 at this point. But there you go. Rebel T6, just another line going through the Canon entry level. So I just shot this whole thing to review the T6, and what's interesting is they usually kind of do it in the line where they'll do the first kind of Rebel series, the lower megapixel ones like the T5, and then they'll do the T5i type of thing. But I just realized that the T6i is already out and it's available for $750, and it has one of the newer imaging processors. It's 24 megapixels, 1080p video, and everything like that. But it's interesting that they're kind of going backwards. Like the T6i came out just a while ago, but now they're doing the T6 here. At this point, I don't know why you wouldn't do the T7. I just wanted to bring that up before anyone said anything like the 6i is out. I remembered that last second. So that's very interesting on what they're doing, but it seems like it's going to be worth the price for $500 for the T6. But it's obviously, you're not getting the newest technology, like I was mentioning, the lower digit imaging processor. But as you see, like the T6i has pretty much almost current value for that. But you're also paying $750 for it, not $500. So just wanted to throw that in there as well. It's interesting that they kind of jumped over the T6 for a long time and are kind of going back to it. At this point, just go with the T7.